one of my favorite things to do recently is to get steak from the store that's about to go off. So it expires usually the next day or the same day, even if the butcher forgot to take it off the shelf. I like to do this because the prices get slashed 40 to 60%, so I can get a much better cut or something that's been dry aged or just better quality than I normally would be willing to pay for. I then take the steak home, and then I take the steak out of the package and I put some rub on the steak, and then I sous vide the steak. And what is sous vide? So that's a French term. It means under vacuum. So we take the steak. I have a vacuum sealer at home. I only have a vacuum sealer because I can't buy thick Ziploc bags where I currently live. So the thick Ziploc bags aren't really available. They need to be sort of thick because you're getting them a bit warm and they'll melt if you buy cheap thin ones. I also question the plastic for those cheap thin ones. So you take the steak, you rub it, you chuck it in the vacuum bag, run it through the vacuum sealer, and then you put that nice sealed bag in the slow cooker. Now here you can see the way that I do my sous videing. I have basically a PID controller in a little enclosure with an outlet on the top of it, and there's a thermometer that goes in the slow cooker, and all the PID controller does is turn the outlet on and off to maintain a specific temperature. So here you can see it's shooting for 52 degrees Celsius, which is very rare beef. So the cool thing with sous vide is that you can't really overcook the steak because it's all one temperature. It's a homogeneous, it's all one mixture. So it's nice in that you can chuck it on in the morning and it can sit for a while. Beef can sit for a very long time, in multiple days, in fact. I think 2 days. It depends on what you're cooking, right? So I like to cook like ribeyes and dry aged stuff. It only needs a few hours, or really no time and temperature, because I sear it afterwards. So after you take the thing out of the sous vide, it is ready for consumption, but I usually like to put a char on my steaks. So I take them outside, I get my grill as hot as it'll go. I'd show you a video of my grill, but it's super feral. It needs to be cleaned so bad. I'm a bit embarrassed, to be honest. So here's just a little quick what the steak looks like when it comes out. I totally forgot to take a video of the steak cut, but the interesting thing about sous vide is you can get a piece of meat you could probably get a big portion of an animal and do this in a bathtub if you're really keen. But the crazy thing is that it's consistent edge to edge, and that's something that can't really be accomplished any other way that I'm aware of. So you can get steak that's, inches thick, and it will be consistent from edge to edge if it's been sous vide. This is also how high-end steakhouses do their steak cooking. So if you ask for it less than rare, so if you ask for a steak blue, they usually will come out and tell you like, well, we can do that, but it's going to take 45 minutes because they have to get it out of the fridge, let it warm up, and then sear it, because their sous vide bath will already be at rare. That's the secret of nice steakhouses typically, or at least some of the steakhouses that I've been to. So it's quite easy once you have some sort of apparatus. There's a whole bunch of different brands. This is not a sponsored video, so I made my own controller out of a really cheap PID controller I found online and made an enclosure myself. I even have version 3 of this setup where I 3D print an enclosure that fits inside the slow cooker when it's not in use, which is a little more storage friendly. But I sous vide all the time. I'm going to make another video about why I sous vide and how I do batch cooking for my weekly work meals. So stay tuned for that one. If you like this, smash that like button. It'll help push this out to more people. I really appreciate you helping me with the algorithm, and I hope to catch you at the next one.